Yankees Files podcast. We are back. The original crew is back. I'm Will Harris, your Alec Whipple, your Steve Rector, and welcome and cheers to this 6th season of the Yankees Files podcast, this 165th episode. The annual offseason plans are back. We have a ton to get into, but first, some congratulations are in order. Alec Whipple, since the last time you were on the podcast, you have not only passed the bar, but you have become engaged to be married. Congratulations on both of those things.
Congrats, Whipple.
Thank you. Because of who's in the room right now, we'll say one of them is a bigger accomplishment, the engagement. So excited about it.
Cheers to that as well.
Thank you. I'm excited to be a lawyer too, but yeah. Well, we'll hopefully following in your footsteps of having an A+ wedding.
I have no doubt that you will. Steve, how are you doing? Any major life updates like that to provide? It's been a month.
I got nothing. Stubbed my toe the other day. That hurt.
Dang.
Hurt. Yeah, it's been on my mind.
Hope you're okay. Do you think we need to amputate?
I don't know. The way I work nowadays, it's when you get older, man, it's like a little thing. And like your brain is telling you, you're good. Just get up. And then your body's like, no, you need to like get this figured out. Like you just fell down. Like you can't just fall down anymore.
Are you falling down a lot?
Yeah, not that often. I mean, like, look, has it occurred to me that Life Alert might be nice? Maybe. But I mean, I it's not all the time. How many times a week do you fall down?
London Bridge Rector. It's funny that you bring up your age because my wife did at one point think that you were a Korean War veteran.
How did that happen? You've said this before. I forget how that could have possibly gotten there.
It's kind of convoluted. I'll tell you another time.
Had she seen my face before she thought this?
No.
Okay, there you go. Right? Yeah, you look at me for 5 seconds. You know I'm not a Korean War veteran.
You know, though, I feel like at my work orientation, they had this whole presentation about working with people across generational divides. I feel like Yankees Files just bringing in like some older war veterans potentially, just getting different perspectives.
Do you think we have a single war veteran, let's say like over the age of 50, that listens to Yankees Files?
Do I think anyone who fought in
If you're out there and you're hearing this right now, get in contact with us, please, on Twitter.
You are the next co-host
at Yankees Files.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? And shout out to any veterans and non-veterans who do listen to Yankees Files. Thank you for your service, or not thank you for your not service. I think that covers everything.
That was a reverse negative there. It doesn't matter.
No, because I'm not thanking them and they didn't serve. So
okay.
Look, you're not an English teacher anymore.
I'm too tired. I'm just too tired.
This authority that you once had is gone.
I just argued with AI for the last hour trying to get Excel to work. I'm done.
Ultimately, it did work, though.
It did.
So, Steve, remember at the beginning of the season when we made picks for like awards and we made bold predictions?
Yes.
I just want to revisit those real quick because Indeed. It turns out that my bold predictions were awesome this year. My first one was Trent Grisham hits 34 home runs.
Yeah, shut up.
I mean, really, really good. My second was Cam Schlittler has one of the best playoff starts in Yankees history against the Red Sox.
That was shooting fish in a barrel on that one. Man.
That one was amazing. And my last one was Aaron Judge wins the MVP again, except people get really mad about it this time. So I went 3 for 3.
Has there been a time that people weren't mad?
I think
04 was or 24 was a little less.
Yeah,
mad.
I think 2024 people weren't really.
There were
mad.
the Bobby Witt stands though.
There were,
yeah.
but not to. But Kansas City, no one even. Honestly, I think it should have been. If it was that close between Judge and Raleigh, it should have been closer between Judge and Witt than it was.
Have been.
Yeah,
it absolutely should.
That season, this is a whole different. But that Bobby Witt season, man, it's one of the best seasons of short. That's like top 5 all time.
Yeah, we're witnessing an all-time great shortstop peak. Hey,
Bobby witnessing.
We are witnessing an all-time great shortstop peak, and he's getting little to no recognition for it because Aaron Judge exists and he's playing in Kansas City.
8 WAR down year.
Insane.
Didn't even get like looked at. He only had 8 WAR season. Only like
that's all.
top 50 all time for the position. Yeah.
So my bold predictions were actually, one, Ben Rice has the second highest WRC plus on the team, but it's a good thing. If you set your minimum at 300 plate appearances, that was actually correct. So it's the first time I've ever gotten a bold prediction right.
Well, because he ended up just a nick above Bellinger and Grisham and Jazz, right? Like just a little above him.
Yeah, he was at 133, and then Grisham 129, Jazz 126, Bellinger 125.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And it was because he had a really good last week, basically.
Against the Orioles there, those home runs.
My second was Seiya Suzuki ends up on the team. Wish it had happened. It didn't. And my last was Jasson Dominguez hits fewer than 15 home runs. He hit 10.
Yeah.
And 3 were in the same game.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's actually a good bold prediction. I leave you alone for 1 year.
Mine were definitely not
from
good.
you.
I remember at least one of mine.
Well, you had the Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. Was that a prediction, or was that just my general sentiment?
I mean, you had, I don't know if it was your general sentiment or if you framed it as a bold prediction, but you had a non-judge.
The 5-WAR season.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And you had a non-judge Yankee over 4 WAR, and there were 2.
Yeah.
So that was impressive.
I did say that Judge would be relatively human. I remember
which
saying
was
that.
not. Yeah.
Just not true. But I've never been happier to be wrong about any bold prediction.
That was a good one for you to be wrong about. MVP, we both had Judge. It was Judge. Cy Young, I had Rodon. You had Fried. I think
I'd say Fried wins.
Yeah. Reliever, I had Williams. I think you had Williams. It was probably David Bednar.
Did he play long
Cruz.
Enough? Yeah. Honestly, maybe
Tim Hill?
Fernando Cruz.
Yeah.
Cruz was there the longest. I don't know what WAR would say, but Fernando Cruz was so good the first part of the year too.
He was.
So, yeah.
Rookie of the year, I had Will Warren. I don't remember who you had. I guess
I probably picked Jason.
It was probably Will Warren just off of volume. He had 20 good starts and 11 bad starts.
You make an argument for Schlittler, even though it was so small.
You could, impact wise, yeah.
If you count the playoffs, it's Schlittler.
I'm surprised he got no down ballot on Rookie of the Year. Not even.
Yeah, I kind of thought he would, but I mean, it was before the playoffs, and that that really elevated his whole status. Now, he went from being still kind of fringy, had a good run, to now he's future ace pitcher because of one start, which is dumb.
Hey, real ones are sleeping on the almost perfect game in Tampa Bay.
That
was kind of where I started. It was
he had against the Orioles late in the year. He had 7 one-hit innings or something.
Yep.
Also, he was doing it. He was good. Yeah.
Comeback player of the year, I had Mark Leiter Jr., which is definitely wrong.
Do you have what I had, or are we just spitballing on those?
I don't remember who you had for that. There were a couple of years that I remembered.
I should have watched that episode again.
Yeah. I think you probably had Giancarlo Stanton, which is who it really was.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway.
Could have been Bellinger.
Could have been Bellinger, which also would have been right.
Yeah.
With that, I think we put the 2024 season to bed. Some things about it will certainly come up as we get into our offseason plans. 25. Yeah. Wow. So at work, our client has a completely nonsensical way of deciding what fiscal year it is. And they're going into fiscal year 2027, which will start in February 2026. And it has completely ruined my sense of what year it is ever. So anyway, with that, we put to bed season 5 of Yankees Files and the 2025 Major League Baseball season.
A fun one,
certainly. Yeah. I was watching some promotional clips that we made for our episode just prior to opening day the other day. And I said at one point something to the effect of, over the course of this season, this team will disappoint us in various ways, and we will not enjoy a lot of the games that we watch. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited that baseball is going to be back.
Right.
And I am excited to feel that way again in 4 months. But really, no, it's true. Each baseball season gives us a lot to enjoy, and I did enjoy a lot about this one, and I'm sure you guys did as well, and we can revisit that at the end of the episode. But man, Steve, what you've been saying about how the rest of or, next season feels far off and the rest of the offseason is going to be a real slog, I think is unfortunately quite true.
It was made all the more true, and this is what I alluded to. It was like Trent Grisham accepting the qualifying offer. It's a good thing, ultimately. We're going to get into that, but it's just like early on now, that's like a whole avenue and lane of possibilities and things that you can dream on and think about, and that keeps you entertained. And it's like, okay, well, that's done. We're just getting Trent. We're just getting Trent back. It's not the sexiest move, but it's going to be long, boring. I hate it.
It is. Yeah.
There's a reason I set up my desk right now I'm looking out my window because it's winter.
Rogers Hornsby style.
Chris Whipple got back into baseball a little bit this year. He's like really excited for next year. Yeah, he's like he wants to get back in the fantasy league, and
how about
he's like,
that?
This is like he's like, oh, like what do you do during the offseason? I'm like, well, we sit and we wait for spring. We stare out the window.
That's right.
There you go.
And we also make our offseason plans. So this is mine. And I recommend that people who are audio only listeners try out video for this episode, which you can do on Spotify or on YouTube at youtube.com/@crosstownsports, because there's a graphic that goes along with this. And my roster is, I think, probably the most out there of the three that we're going to review today.
Debatably.
Yeah, you did some things.
That won't happen.
So I have obviously Trent Grisham, who's already back. I have Cody Bellinger. I have a trade for Jake Myers. I have Yoan Moncada and Gary Sanchez on the bench. So basically, my thesis for the offense was really good. There's a lot to believe in there, including I would expect some positive regression from Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells. I think if Ben Rice's process is the same, he's going to outperform these projections. I think Jazz can be a better player, as we've seen, than where he's projected. I wanted the Yankees to have some right-handed options that don't really exist in the current starting lineup. And we saw that late in this past year where it was hard to find at-bats for right-handed, or it was hard to find right-handed hitters to take at-bats off the bench. You had Amed Rosario, you had Jose Caballero, and that was really it. So they get the righty catcher in there in Gary Sanchez, of course, #Gary come home. I'm not the only person on this podcast who has him in there, first of all, so it's not just a me thing.
It won't happen, but it's fun.
It should happen. And I have Yoan Moncada, who can play a couple of infield spots, is a switch hitter, has had an xWOBA in the 330s each of the last 2 years. Does he stay very healthy? No. Is he a great defender? No. But I think he can kind of play arguably an even enhanced version of that Amed Rosario role. On the pitching side, my big move is Jose Soriano, and I think that's probably where Jasson Dominguez goes. Jose Soriano allowed like a 313 xWOBA last year, which was much better than a guy like Mitch Keller, for example. And he also had like a half run or more ERA FIP gap. So I think he was getting decently unlucky. Fangraphs Steamer has him projected for 3 WAR next year. I think he's a quality player to pitch, 170, 180 innings there. And then in the bullpen, I do bring back Devin Williams. I don't think there's any reason not to. And if anything, he played his way into a more affordable contract. And then I'm bringing in Caleb Thielbar, who was 5th in xWOBA allowed among relievers who threw at least 500 pitches last year. He maybe is a little bit too similar to Tim Hill as a lefty in that he doesn't throw hard or anything, but awesome at limiting damage contact. And then I'm trading for Carmen Mlodzinski from the Pirates, who had the 19th lowest xWOBA allowed of that reliever group. I don't see what the Pirates need a good reliever for. They're not any good, and I don't think he should be all that expensive. And then the Yankees have already brought back Tim Hill, and that rounds out my roster. Guys, thoughts? I think this is a pretty good team. I believe I have more batting WAR than Steve and more pitching WAR than Whipple, from what I remember from packaging yours up.
I wouldn't.
What
put
do we
much
think
stock
about
into
this
mine.
team?
I mean, I think people would hate it.
You think people would
I don't
hate
think
this?
I don't think people
I
would
think
hate
people
this.
would be very upset if this was the team.
What's
really
upsetting
do.
I don't know
about this?
I don't know if I agree with that actually. I think the most
Well-
upset would be trading Jasson and probably bringing back Devin. Some people would have issues with that.
Are you guys not trading
Actually-
Jasson Dominguez?
I'm not in
I
mine.
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Only because I don't want to, and this is my plan, so I just did.
Sure. No, that's very much. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I actually kind of felt the same, to be fair. I was like, because he was gone, and I'm like, wait, I just don't like want to give him up.
It doesn't feel like a good idea to me. Like, I really believe he's going to hit. I guess I don't know how he's going to field, but I just think he's going to hit. So I just have a hard time blanketly getting rid of him.
I have serious doubts about, like, the lefty power wasn't even there a ton this year, and the righty hitting was miserable. And I think
Still an above league average hitter as a 22-year-old.
Yep. No, that's true. That's true. I just
he
don't.
swings the bat hard, hits the ball hard, takes walks. I feel like just that young with those tools, runs the bases as well as he does. There is just so much there. Like, if we're dreaming at all on Spencer Jones, what are we doing? Like, this is such a better thing, I would argue, than Spencer Jones. Different.
Okay. No,
but I would argue better.
Okay.
I agree. I think there are lots of ways to get him into the lineup, and I just would feel bad about, like, this is when you give him up. And I think, like, what you're getting for him is actually better than what I feel like I've seen other people want to trade him for.
I don't think he would fetch Jose Soriano. You'd need more.
I don't think he'd do it alone.
No.
But there's no one else on the current 26 man who I thought needed to go in that deal.
I was searching for starters worthy of trading Jasson for, and like, I just found, I didn't think about Jose Soriano, to be honest. He is really good, kind of wild, and all that. He throws insanely hard, tons of ground balls. But like, I like Joe Ryan. Like, I have issues with Joe Ryan. I think he's good, but so
a
much
name
hard
that
contact.
I looked at was Tanner Bybee. I think there are some things
Didn't
to
they-
like with
Did they
Tanner
extend
Bybee.
him or something? Isn't he on a deal?
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. It's like affordable.
No, but just that might make it so they don't want
Yeah.
to trade him.
Fangraphs doesn't want to load his page right now. I forget what the terms of his
I feel
contract
Cleveland will
are.
trade anyone.
Well, that was the other thing. I think if you give Cleveland a bat that they're interested in, like if they liked Dominguez, I think they'd be willing to part with some stuff. 5 years, 48 million.
Yeah, 5 years, 48 million. But it turns up to 21 million in 2029. So it's really
okay.
weird.
So they don't want to pay that.
No, so they don't pay him like 4 million next year, 7 million, then 10 million, then 21 the next two. So
anyway,
it's a team option.
Tanner Bybee's not in my offseason plan, but he was someone I looked at. Chad Patrick was someone I looked at just because he limited damage decently well. A couple other relievers that I looked at, Juan Murillo from Arizona. I think he allowed like a 290 xWOBA and 60% of his pitches were 98 miles an hour or faster. So if you want to scratch the velocity itch, Arizona has some guys who throw hard. And then Elvis Alvarado from Oakland, 289 xWOBA and 45% of the pitches that he threw were 98 or harder. So those were some guys. Whipple, I understand.
I might have been too harsh. I think
people would. I agree. I think people would be angriest about trading Dominguez. Like, I think this roster would probably project to be the best in baseball.
I guess my question
after maybe
is,
LA.
Whipple, like, what would have to be done to not make people angry? Because like this year, bringing back Cody Bellinger, right? Isn't that's like a big one?
That
I guess
seems pretty popular right now. Even
it does, but I guess then they would feel like, well, we're running back the same thing. How did we get better? Well, you bring in Jose Soriano, that's pretty good.
And you bring back Garrett Cole, like
you'd get some.
No,
righties.
that's fair about Soriano.
I don't know.
I do like bringing back Devin. I just feel like I don't know. Like I feel like the offense needs like maybe one more dot that you don't provide to it. Like I don't know if I trust y'all.
Talk to me about that.
Like
talk to me about the best offense in the league needing more.
Well, I think it needs Kyle Tucker instead of Cody Bellinger. Hence my plan.
Needs?
I mean,
that will not happen. Not needs. Could use. Would be better. Would be improved.
Would be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not going to happen. I think this is a good plan. Most of this won't happen because it's just too many bulk moves. It's just too many things.
Most of it won't happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
But and not even just in terms of odds. I feel like most teams don't do this many things in an offseason typically. This is
I mean,
a lot of moves.
they have to sign guys for the bullpen, right? Like, I don't think it's 3 more guys on top of Hill already being back, but they have to sign guys. Presumably,
it could be a lot. That's where you can trade and get some.
Sure. Well, I mean,
guys.
I have a trade and 2 free agents there.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time sometimes with these things because it's like it's hard for me to dig into the weeds when I know none of it's going to happen.
So,
you know what I mean? Like,
so I have 4 more moves being made on both sides, I guess. How many more moves do you think are going to happen? Because we know they're getting an outfielder. I don't think they're going to leave the bench as it is because if you ask
we're going to get an outfielder. I don't think it's a guarantee that we'll get a starting outfielder.
Cashman saying they had 2 vacancies in the outfield.
He mentioned multiple times that they could, and I know he's done this before, but that they now have certainty with Grisham in center field, so they have the freedom to just run with Dominguez or Jones in left if they want to.
Yeah, Caleb Durbin is our starting second baseman.
Sure, yeah, Bubba Crosby. I know.
Bubba Crosby. Exactly. No, I know.
But I mean,
Gio Urshela is our shortstop.
But like Hal Steinbrenner freaking loves and talks endlessly about saving money on young, cheap, controllable players. It's like what he gets off on. He'll just talk about it without anybody prompting him. And this is the only position next year where we can actually do that would be left field with Jasson Dominguez, right?
Well, hey,
and
Jose Soriano and Jake Myers are young, cheap, controllable players. And Cash, I know you're listening.
I wonder with their rotation if they're going to feel like that's. I don't know. It's such a weird dilemma they're in because that rotation could become really crowded really fast. It already is kind of crowded, and we're already adding more to it because of early injuries. So
I mean, I think Luis Gil gets traded, and I'm assuming that you basically get nothing from Clark Schmidt next year.
I don't think they trade.
I forgot about Gil.
I don't think there's value to him. I don't think there's enough value to that guy to get anything out of it. It'd be easier just to see if he can pitch.
I'm kind of on board with trying him in the bullpen. I totally forgot about him, and I actually would have put him in the bullpen.
He seems like a bullpen arm. Yeah, just let him air it out.
I think it's time just to see what happens.
Whipple, should we talk about your plan?
Yes.
I'm not going to be as nice about it as I originally planned to be.
I overreacted. I like your plan.
People are going to freaking hate this, loser, idiot.
But I guess I was saying is I feel like the name brand players aren't there and people are going to get upset. Not me. That's what I was saying. Other people.
I'm not saying this is me, but I know this guy who might feel this way.
Okay, so my plan has all the right players. And let's not forget, last year I actually did predict a few things correctly. So
I was surprised not to see Brendan Donovan in your plan.
I actually thought about Brendan Donovan. The guy who is not on my plan who I would put on and I just didn't have the spots is Miguel Andujar. I actually really want them to.
I was trying to make that work as well. Miguel Andujar, Byron Buxton, Brendan Donovan were all guys that I tried to shoehorn in at one point or another and just couldn't.
I think last year I said Edouard Julien or something.
Oh, yep.
I don't know.
Man, I actually wanted him at one point. Thank God they didn't get him. He sucked.
He had one of the worst years I could have imagined.
Ever. Yeah. God.
So I think that Alec Baum is someone I had last year, and I think makes even more sense this year as a 1-year rental who can be a righty complement, kind of what you're saying. You need righties in there. He can play third. I think it would be a really good fit. I think.
Do they ever let Alec Baum play first base? Is that? I guess they must not because they have Bryce Harper.
I don't think
so. I guess he's played a tiny bit of first base. He's very bad.
He could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was more thinking like the McMahon platoon. Plus, I got to get someone with my name on the team. I mean, just has to happen.
And you went with Bohm over like Mills, Burleson,
or the Alec
Thomas, Manoah. Yeah.
Yeah, but some of them spell it with a K. So
yeah,
Alec Thomas is a K.
Yeah.
Burleson is the proper spelling. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think Bellinger makes the most sense. I mean, I don't know. I just can't get jazzed up about Bellinger, Tucker. Like, I feel like the Soto stuff really kind of took a lot of the like I really want this one guy in free agency energy out of me. And I do see that the Yankees have obviously a very deep offense. So I don't know if I'm going to put all the eggs in the Tucker basket. I really would be fine with either of them. Bringing in Baum would be probably the big move on offense. I think for pitching, I mean, maybe Zach Gallen gets more than we think he will, but I see him as someone who might be willing to take a short-term deal or at least one with opt-outs just coming off of such a bad year. And I do think you need like one guy. I mean, I feel like with Jose Soriano, whoever you have, Steve, I feel like we probably all had at least one
Steve has
pitcher.
someone really interesting.
It's not real. Again, it's not real. I just threw something in there
That's
so we
true.
can. I'm just going to end up talking. Okay, and then
Okay.
the thing will be up there, and it won't mean anything, but it'll be there.
Whipple, are you
so
worried that Zach Gallen sucks now?
Yeah, I am. He sucks.
I don't know. I'm still gonna bank on the performance, but the numbers aren't great. I'm hoping that, or like the underlyings aren't great last year either.
Stuff.
I'm hoping for a short-term deal on this. Like I wouldn't give him like a 6-year deal or something like that. So I feel like that alleviates a little bit of the risk. But I definitely would rather get a starter than go back to a high price reliever, even though I do think Devin Williams coming back is good. And then in the bullpen, bring Fairbanks in as like your kind of brand name reliever with a history of success, but might not be the most expensive. And I think Michael Kopech could be a good buy low option, and then filling in around that based on who they already have. I do not have Doval because I feel like he could be a guy that is an attractive trade piece. Maybe
I was
Baum.
surprised that you have Jake Bird and not Doval. But I guess
that was
if you're
more like
dealing him,
a Baum Doval deal was the one I was kind of thinking of, or at least something like that. Phillies need the bullpen help, so. All right, it's all great. Moving on.
Jose Alvarado Val.
I don't know if I put. Did you have
I think I
Yarbrough on
said-
yours, Will? Because I don't. I think I forgot to put Yarbrough on it.
I didn't have Yarbrough on it, but
I
like
forgot to add it.
72 innings. I don't know. Like,
Well, it's hard with the pitching too because, like, you almost need more than 26 spots.
Yeah,
here
no,
because you're
they're-
gonna,
and-
like, yeah,
you know,
Yarbrough
yeah,
probably
like
in the rotation opening day at this point.
yeah.
35 or more got, you know, over the course of a season, they'll have like 50 players on this team.
Yeah.
They will have probably about 35 guys who are ultimately like full time. So
Well, it's weird because we're thinking more or less about like what's the team look like opening day, but that would require for this kind of thing because we expect Cole and Rodon obviously to have big roles this year. It's like weird because you have to have these two other slots kind of in your mind.
exactly. Yeah. So you have Yarbrough, you might have Luis Heel, you might have, you know, whoever the next Jaime Garcia, Lance Lynn, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Carrasco. Marcus Stroman doesn't really belong in that group, but it's what he ultimately became. Whipple, I like
Garcia and Bartolo Colon.
Gosh. I like the Pete Fairbanks thing. I just worry that the Rays would have brought back, because didn't they decline an option?
I think they non-tendered because of price. I'm reasonably
They
sure.
did, but it's like
they declined an $11 million option. If you could have,
which is a lot. That's a lot.
But that's still price. That's still price.
For the Rays, that's a lot.
For the Rays, that's a lot. That's fair.
For a reliever whose K rate has declined as much as Fairbanks has, yeah. I mean, like he doesn't even strike out a guy per inning anymore.
I didn't realize how much it had dropped from 22 and 23.
Yeah, he does. He still throws hard. Like, you know, it's not like that's gone away. But yeah, I think his ceiling looks a lot different than it did. And when in like 21 or what year was it where he was just, I think
22, he was unreal when he was,
he was hurt,
striking out
so good.
14 and walking 1 per 9. Yeah, but he only threw 24 innings.
Yeah.
I just think with price, I just wanted to go more with my eggs in bringing in money at third, money at starter. I think you allocated for Devin. I think that's totally fine. I just don't see and didn't feel like that's the direction I wanted to go in. I mean, what do you think Devin would get on a contract? I'm like fascinated by his free agency.
It's really,
all over.
No idea.
Board.
Could be anywhere.
I would give Devin Williams no less. Like, I would give Devin Williams 4 for 64 and not lose a second of sleep over it.
Oof.
I'd lose a second of sleep.
I'd lose some seconds. I'd lose many seconds. Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I think he might have played himself out of that. I think he might go even shorter term, higher AAV. honestly. It wouldn't surprise me.
But like, you wouldn't give him 3 for 55, would you?
No, I don't know what I'd give him. Honestly,
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'd give
I
him.
give him like 3 for 45, but
I don't
You'd
know.
give
That
him
gets
3
it
for
really
45, but not 4
But-
for 64.
with like an opt out. I don't know.
Well,
I
3 for
just
40
I'm like very nervous about it, even though I did. I don't know.
No, actually, 4 for I don't know. It's not that crazy.
Like,
I'd probably do that. Actually, no. The more I think about that, yes, I would do that deal. Yeah, 4 for 64.
because I think that Devin is going to get a smaller deal than Edwin Diaz, but I also think that of Diaz, Devin, and Helsley, Devin is going to be the best pitcher over the life of those deals.
Could be. I wouldn't bet against Diaz too much, but he's getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think he's worth bringing back, but
Steve, shall we get into yours?
Yeah, we can just start rambling because this doesn't mean anything.
So Steve has Kyle Tucker. Steve has Austin Hayes, my sworn enemy. Steve has Dylan Cease, and Steve has Steven Matz, who was in one of my original plans and then
I just left him there, honestly.
Transformed into Caleb Thielbar.
Dylan Cease was the other guy I was going back and forth with, and
interesting.
I think he's getting a lot of money. I mean, I don't know.
He's going to get too much money. I don't know if I'd honestly pay whatever. I just really, really like Dylan Cease. Like, his stuff is so damn good. And if there's any element of his market being a little lagging behind because of his higher ERA last year, that's a guy, if you can on that deal, like,
he is kind of the starter version of Devin Williams.
Kind of.
Like in this year's market.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar, like underlying, even just his FIP, you're like, wait, what the hell happened here? Like, I mean,
why don't you pronounce FIP?
I hate doing it. I hate doing it. It sounds childish. All of them do. I don't know. Though I would never say WHIP. I would say whip. So yeah, I don't know. But that's a real word. That's different. We're getting sidetracked. All right. So
you've added by far the most salary of
for
any
sure.
of us.
It won't happen. It won't happen. Yeah, no. But I do want to. I gotta say one thing, because we got to revert back to where we were last year, because we've lost our way a little bit. And Will, you and I talked about this so many times. What we wanted Cody Bellinger to do was have one damn good year, opt out, and then not come back. And yet here we all are.
I agree.
Putting Cody Bellinger back on our teams for a contract that's going to be bad. Like, nobody was more stoked about Cody Bellinger than me this year. I wouldn't shut up about it. And I am so averse to bringing that guy back. I was kind of just accepting of it at the time because I didn't think Grisham was going to happen or anything like that. So I thought they had no choice. If they wanted a center fielder, they were probably going to have to get him again, which would have been back-to-back years that the Yankees were basically out of options and had to pull the Cody Bellinger button. And Trent Grisham gives them the opportunity to avoid a long-term thing where that's just going to be, you're going to end up paying him close to $30 million, if not $30 million a year, into his mid-30s. That bat where he loses his defensive value, like, I'm just not, I want to avoid that at all costs. And if that means going to Kyle Tucker, so be it, man. If that has to be the other option, go for Kyle Tucker. There aren't that many bats that are going to be elite like Kyle Tucker that are going to come up that you can have for just money
do you think
soon years?
How much better do you think Kyle Tucker is going to age than Cody Bellinger?
Better. I don't know how much better, but better. Even though Kyle Tucker is more of he's not a guy that destroys the baseball. He's more of an all-around contact, walks and hits the ball fairly hard kind of guy. The profile is still just so much better than Cody Bellinger's is. It's not even close.
My worry is he doesn't swing hard. He's already not a good defender.
But you're talking about Cody Bellinger as the alternative to this.
Yeah, another guy who doesn't swing hard.
Like
but
a 320 ex-Woba Cody Bellinger. I threw ex-Woba.
The Bellinger contract.
Is
the Bellinger contract going to be over $200 million?
No, it'll obviously be cheaper.
And the Tucker contract's going to be over
insane.
3,
it's going to be huge.
Probably 4. I just think that's a meaningful difference. The difference in that is meaningful to me.
Sure, but I think Kyle Tucker is a meaningfully better player than Cody Bellinger. Right now, the value might be a little bit closer because Bellinger is going to have the better defensive angle to it. And I have talked a lot already about how I don't know if Kyle Tucker can play left field at Yankee Stadium. I also don't care if we're choosing Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger, which it seemed like I had to do in this plan.
I do think you basically have to make that choice.
I could not do it to myself to say, I'm going to do the thing I said we cannot do, which is sign Cody Bellinger. Last year, if you had said that Cody Bellinger would have this great year, he'd opt out and the Yankees would sign Kyle Tucker, we would be freaking ecstatic. So what has changed? What did change? That Kyle Tucker had it's an injury in the second half of the year and wasn't quite as good. Is that really the thing that's going to change our entire mind about what the right choice is here? I don't think it should. I think if you're making this decision, it has to be Kyle Tucker.
Do you harbor any concerns about the way that this just like kicks the, well, it either kicks the overall outfield defense can down the road a year in a way that is potentially concerning, or it at least kicks the center field can down the road just another year?
Yeah, I don't think this all got messed up. I guess Jasson didn't end up making it on the list. Don't worry about that. He should be there. But
oh, sorry. I thought
no, it's fine. I think I just messed it up. He was annoying with the accent, so I kept having to copy paste every time I took him on and off. But I mean, I guess part of me would still like to believe that Jasson Dominguez, who was center fielder for his entire minor league career, could be a center fielder. I know that seems extreme with how bad he was in left, but it's not like this guy's not fast. Like, I don't know if we're going to ask him to play a very difficult left field. Is it so crazy we'd ask him to try to play the position he's played more of in the future with more reps?
I kind of agree with you, but I just am like, I'm not getting the signs there. So I
know. So like, this is not what I think will happen or what I think the Yankees think or anything like that. This is just purely, if I just had my way with it, I would sign Kyle Tucker. And I might sign Dylan Cease. I think, frankly, what I think they will do, and nobody else had him, is they're going to sign that Tatsuya Imai guy. I am firmly believe they are going to go after him. I really
agree
think
with
that's
you.
I
agree with you. I didn't put it in the plan partially because I thought I was being kind of cute with the Jose Soriano thing, and partially because the steamer projection for him is terrible. I think the Zips one will be more in line with what we actually expect, but that's what the situation was with Yamamoto, I remember. But those haven't been released yet. So
I strongly think the Yankees want him.
I think so too.
I think it's more than just money there then too, because then they bring in the whole Japanese market thing and marketability and money. Like they see it as a more than just a signing a player thing. And I think that's what happened with Yamamoto too. I think Yamamoto driven largely by that desire, even more so than just getting the pitcher.
I think Yamamoto was a far better player though coming in. I just disagree.
But this won't cost like Yamamoto. This won't be anywhere near that.
I think it's going to cost a lot. I don't know.
It'll be way less than Dylan Cease. It'll be
it's not going to cost Garrett Cole.
100%.
I think Cease and Imai are going to get similar contracts.
No, I think we can go look at it's just projections, but he's been projected for significantly less, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
Really? But, I don't know.
I think that
he's not as highly regarded. I didn't know who this guy was until this little bit ago.
Yeah,
I had heard about Yamamoto for a long time.
I would be surprised if he gets more than half of what Yamamoto got, money-wise.
What's that?
He's not going to get nearly as many years.
Yeah,
I think he's going to get
165, 170 would be half.
I think he's going to get between 150 and 170. I don't know. The Yankees want to put a fourth big contract on the books. Basically, then you're saying pitching contract, and then you're saying Scooble's not going to happen, which is like fine, but I don't know. Like, is this the guy you kind of make that decision for? I don't see it.
They need an arm.
They do, and but the thing is, they already have so many pitching contracts on the books that I think this is the one that they could justify, and that's what I'm saying.
Like, you take on this contract, and then Giancarlo Stanton comes off the books. Like, what? You would have 1 year of paying Imai, Stanton, and Scooble,
but you'd still have,
if that
for a number of years, you'd have 4 pitchers making a bizarre amount of money in your rotation.
Okay,
but the only reason I think they are willing to do it is because it's Imai. I don't think they'll do it for Cease or they'll do it for anyone else. I think it would just be Imai for a specific case. Remember when we were talking last year and I said, what would have happened with Juan Soto if they had signed Yamamoto? Would they have offered him that money or not? And I think they actually would have. I think Yamamoto was its own thing. That was like its unique thing. He's a Japanese big name pitcher. We want to be in that market. We also really like who he is, but I think that it's a bigger focus for them if they could get a player like that. I think the only other alternative they might sign if they don't get Imai would be Michael King, which I think could be a fun reunion project. I think think it fits in well with the idea that you'd be missing some guys for a little bit of time because King might miss time at some point, but I don't know. I feel like that one could work and he'd be cheaper.
I was just about to bring up the Michael King situation because I thought that one of you would have him in your plan.
I took him on and off multiple times.
So
yeah, I considered.
He only threw like 70 innings last year.
Yeah.
I think you can basically pencil him in for 3-ish WAR. Obviously was a Yankee, is from the East Coast. What I have heard, which, you know, take this with as many grains of salt as you like, is that it was very unlikely that Michael King would be a Yankee again. Who knows what that's worth? I can understand a team having reservations about signing Michael King, who has effectively one healthy full season as a starter.
Depends on the contract.
Probably going to get paid a decent amount going into his age 31 season. I would love having him back. I think it would be really fun and cool. And going back and looking at the things that we said about him when he was first a starting pitcher in 2021, and Whipple and I were just starting this thing, would be kind of funny. Hopefully our thoughts on him in 2025 would be very different, or 2026, I suppose. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that neither of you had him in your plan.
I had him when I was looking at it from a more cost conscious point of view. I had Michael King in there at one point, but then I was like, what am I doing? None of this makes sense anyway. So I just put Dylan Cease because if I could have one, I would pick Dylan Cease. So
I thought it from the perspective of like Michael King is going to try to cash in now because I just feel like I don't know, the way I feel like Michael King and Zach Gallen or like Dylan Cease are going to approach this contract. I feel like Michael King is not going to take a short-term deal because like I just don't think he has the resume to fall back on.
Whereas someone's got to offer him a long-term deal though.
Yeah.
Someone's got to give him
I think
one.
People pay for the pitchers. I don't know. The one thing I'll say about MI is that he doesn't have the qualifying, doesn't have the pick. So that is a point against, I guess, what I'm thinking is like that could mean. Or Michael King does, Gallen does, Cease does.
Can we talk about the reaction to Trent Grisham getting the qualifying offer?
You mean getting or accepting?
Accepting. Thank you.
So they have Imai, they have Imai on MLB Trade Rumors, which I think is a pretty good projection system, is $25 million a year for 6 years.
So that's 150?
150.
Yeah. That sounds right.
It's cheaper than Valdez, projected at 30 a year. Cheaper than Cease.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness none of us had Framber Valdez. I would have had to like change all the passwords and kick you guys out.
I just very strongly dislike him. So,
me too.
Yeah.
Also, I think you have to imagine that Framber Valdez would be bad as a Yankee because they don't have an alternate jersey that he could insist they wear every time he pitches. And that he believed was key to his power in Houston. So that really just takes him out of the running.
They had Cease at 7 years, closer to 200 million. So it's more
interesting.
Yeah, I think more. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think any of this is going to happen. I think Imai is possible, but I don't think any of the other ones are possible. I think if they miss on him, they do what they did with Yamamoto. It's not like they went out and signed another huge starter that offseason when they missed out on Yamamoto, despite offering 300 million for one or whatever it was.
Jose Soriano, here we come. Okay, so the Trent Grisham accepting the qualifying offer thing. I am begging someone to tell me where they got the idea that the Yankees were so sure that Trent Grisham wasn't going to accept the qualifying offer.
One of the funniest things on Twitter.
Insane narrative. First of all, you don't offer it to a guy who you aren't happy to have on that contract just in case you get a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Like, it's an insane narrative. And then the people who wanted to say that this exposed Brian Cashman's arrogance and the Yankees, he wanted to be the smartest guy in the room or whatever it is.
It's the best.
Ridiculous. Trent Grisham is projected to be an $8 million per WAR player, just about, as playing on the qualifying offer deal. That is either just in line with or slightly less than what one WAR should cost on the open market. So by that, It's a fine deal. They seem to think that, they seem to like having him on the team. He was phenomenal last year. People built this narrative that the Yankees were shocked that he accepted the offer and they never thought he was going to accept it, and then decided that that was bad, as if it's bad to have Trent Grisham on your team. It was exhausting. It was ridiculous. I hated it. I would love if someone who believes that could tell me where they got that idea.
Yeah, it's goofy. We talk about it all the time. People have already decided that they're idiots, so any action they do is going to be representative of them being idiots and incompetent and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, anything the Yankees do is wrong.
From my point of view,
times.
No, go on.
Oh, I was saying there's plenty of times they have not offered the qualifying offer in a position
100%.
where in a similar position, and people have said they should, and the player maybe should get a draft pick. So isn't that a justification? Like, it's not like they do this every time. They're like, well, let's just hope one of these times someone doesn't accept. Like, they don't really do this. So I think that's very telling. And there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal. That's I will always say that.
And there are a lot of fans out there, like some fans, some people just blindly want Bellinger back. Some people are acknowledging that don't give him too long of a deal because that could be really bad. They'll split on that. This gives you so much more power in that conversation. And it's very, very unlikely that if you had not offered him the qualifying offer and then down the road said, shit, actually, we want Trent back, you were not going to get him back for 1 year, $22 million. That was impossible. This is a one-time option that you might have been able to do this because he would have had the qualifying offer hanging over his head. If he declined it, all of a sudden his market gets worse, right? So he had to accept it or not. And this was had to make a decision. The Yankees had to make a decision. And I think it just gives him so much more protection having him in there. Gives the offense as much protection as Bellinger would. You're just kind of defensively questioning.
Also, Trent Grisham did have like a lower body injury last year. I don't think it's crazy to believe that he could play better defense next year than he did this past season.
He could probably go back to what he did in 24, which was still not fast. Still slow,
I don't think
he was like 2 OAA, right?
I don't think he'll go back to like 20 OAA or whatever he was, a couple of those years in San Diego.
Quickly.
Yeah. But I think
Trent was a speed demon. Yeah.
I think he can be an average to slightly above average center fielder, and that people have made too much of the defensive concerns.
I think if you were like I was saying that Cody Bellinger can handle center field, I was defending that. You're probably fine with Trent Grisham handling center field then too. Yeah.
I also just think, like, thinking about going into the Soto negotiations, the Yankees had no one in the outfield, like no one, because no one knew Grisham was anything of value, and they didn't know Bellinger would fall into anyone's lap. So that was really a desperation. I mean, obviously there are other people they could have gotten, but the desperation there compared to where they are now is like so different. I mean, they have a full outfield essentially. If Tucker Bellinger doesn't sign, it's very different. Like, I don't think it's like optimal, but like it's different. You're negotiating from positions of strength, and the Yankees didn't really have it at this point last year. It was Soto or we're screwed.
Yeah. Actually, let's do a thought experiment on this because I keep thinking about this. What are the odds that you think the Yankees do not sign either Bellinger or Tucker?
I think higher than people think.
I think a lot higher than people think.
Oh, I think it's like 10%.
That they don't sign either.
Yeah, I think there's a 90% chance that one of them ends up on the team.
I think it's like a 50-50, man. I'm not even kidding.
I agree, actually.
I think it is totally, and it would be reasonable too. I think this is a reasonable thing would be to get a really good, a solid right-handed platoon guy for Jasson / Spencer Jones, whatever. And then just run that out there in left field. I don't know. You traded for Jake Myers, grab Jake Myers, get Austin Hayes, who's, I don't really like him, but he's a right-handed hitter.
If Spencer Jones is on the opening roster, like that,
he won't be on the opening.
He's not. He's not. That's out of the question.
But I think people are just making too much, and I get Cashman said it in his own way, but Jasson Dominguez, I think, should be an option at left field. Like, he's literally talking about a league average hitter last year playing left field for you, and people are acting like it would just be the worst thing ever. 22-year-old with his tools. Most teams in baseball start Jasson Dominguez next year.
The right-handed hitting outfielder with the highest WAR projection by Steamer is Harrison Bader at 1.2 WAR and a 93 WRC plus.
Well, I'm sure
there's a free agent.
I'm sure there's a trade out there you could do or something. I don't know what it is. but
Isn't
I'm sure
Rob
it exists.
Refsnyder kind of up there too?
Someone
Yeah,
said Rob Refsnyder was contemplating retirement.
Yeah, he was. That was a report. That was a report.
I also I don't think Rob Refsnyder can play the outfield not in left field at Fenway Park.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually an outfielder now.
There were also
I just think it's
rumors
funny.
that the Yankees were looking to trade for Romy Gonzalez, right-handed infielder from Boston,
for
who
the
does
Red
hit the
Sox.
ball hard.
He does. I just kind of hate him. But that
yeah,
might
no,
have
that's
nothing to do with
fair.
I can see
But I
that.
think I agree, Steve, that a right-handed bat could be in their future. As people know, I would have loved if they had traded for Taylor Ward. And the fact that if you could trade Grayson Rodriguez for Taylor Ward, can you trade Luis Heel and something else that the Angels like for Taylor Ward?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I think Grayson Rodriguez has had more upside, ironically.
Can you trade Luis Heel and Chase Hampton for Taylor Ward? Can you trade Luis Heel and Dylan Lewis for Taylor Ward?
Maybe they should have done that if they could have,
Yeah.
but obviously it didn't happen. So
Or you take that idea of Taylor Ward, you downgrade it a little bit, and you go after the Joe Adells or the Adolis Garcias of the world. Let's just get some big righty outfield mashers.
The Adolis Garcia situation is so weird because
he doesn't hit lefties, so it's not helpful.
I mean, he doesn't hit at all.
Actually not.
Well, no, but he didn't hit. He actually has. Even when he's good, he has reverse splits. He hits righties better.
What about Joe Adell though? Weird. I'm isn't Joe Adell he has some value now?
Yeah,
probably.
He has some value.
He
just can't play defense.
Yeah, he mashes. Yeah, he hits the ball hard anyway.
I don't think that the Cubs would play ball here.
You're not getting Saya, man.
No. Not who I was going to bring up. I don't think the Cubs would play ball here because they're coming off a good season, and this guy's on a perfectly fine deal, and there's only 1 year left of it. But Ian Happ plays a lot of positions, plays left field competently, switch hitter,
solid player. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
He's like Mr. Cub too. He's been there forever.
Well, we did trade for Mr. Cub a couple years ago.
But that was very different. They were losing halfway through the season. Yeah. They might trade him. I have no doubt Ian Happ will be available at the deadline if they're out of contention.
Yeah.
That would be an obvious one.
So here's how we'll wrap this up. The Yankees roster right now, per roster resource, has Jasson Dominguez starting. It has Jose Caballero, but I guess that's because if they had to play baseball right now, Anthony Volpe would be hurt. So, Volpe would be the shortstop. The bench is JC Escara, Braden Shoemake, Yorbit Vivas, and Oswaldo Cabrera. Does anyone here think anyone except Oswaldo Cabrera appears in a game for the Yankees next year from that list of 4 players?
There's an outside shot Escara does.
Interesting.
If they don't trade him, I think they should trade him. I think they
should too.
I think he will be in a trade. There will be teams. Apparently, there are already teams, according to somebody I know, that have wanted him for a little while, keep asking about him, that kind of thing. So I assume he'll be moved. Probably he's the perfect kind of guy to get a right-handed bench bat or a reliever that's down the rungs a little bit, something like that.
So with that, I think we would say, depending on your view of Jasson Dominguez, there are at least 2 position player spots open. How many of those get filled before opening day with people who are not currently on the team?
You said there's 2 spots open?
Well, depending on it, you would have 3 if you have Dominguez on the team and 2 otherwise.
2.
2, yeah, I guess 2. I mean, what the alternative is internal? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, basically, you have these 2 bench spots in left field. Yeah. We think one of the bench spots is Jose Caballero. Or no, sorry. We have 3 bench spots right now at left field. Volpe comes back, so Caballero goes to the bench. You have 2 bench spots and Jasson Dominguez.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Of course, you don't know what's going to happen.
No, but I know, but
that's
like,
the whole point.
But I don't even have a good guess. Like, I feel totally in the dark right now as to what they're going to do. Like, because part of me does think conventional wisdom of how they talked about Jasson, used him. Yeah, I don't think they're going to rely on him to start next year. Cody Bellinger, they've said they want him back. Cody Bellinger's back, right? That seems like a thing that should happen, but I don't think the Yankees are going to want to sign Cody Bellinger to a 6-year deal. I don't think they're going to want to do that.
Oh, I totally forgot about this. So speaking of Chris, 2 mentions on the same podcast. He ran into Cam Schlittler last weekend in Manhattan.
Oh yeah,
actually,
where?
Dick? Yeah.
No, like on the street. Like they were like on a Friday night. Cam Schlittler said they want to bring back Bellinger. So,
well, that's not news.
They said that. That's not news. Yeah,
that's some real buster. No, I had to just say I have my one source. So
that's so funny.
I talked to Cam Schlittler in Manhattan Street.
Clicked over from a call with Ruben Amaro Jr.
Wait, I'll pull up the picture too.
That's so funny.
It seems weird to me how much Cashman is going out of his way to say they want Cody back. It makes me think he's not going to be back. I don't know why. There's no logic there, but
wow.
Cool.
Arguably, if we could see it in focus at all, one of those guys might be Cam Schlittler.
I'm assuming the guy in the middle is Cam, right?
Yeah.
Tall dude. Yeah. I can't. It's just face.
Yeah, it's blurry. That's okay.
I get the idea. Yeah.
We all had the Yankees making 5 moves on the pitching side. How many do you? Or that's inclusive of Tim Hill. So 4 more moves on the pitching side. Or Steve, you didn't. You had 3 more.
They will do more, but I just didn't. I can't do it to myself to pick up random reliever
over
names.
Under 3.5 moves on the pitching side.
Over probably. I'd say over.
I think over.
I go over as well.
They'll do a starter and 2 relievers, and then who knows? Yeah.
To wrap things up,
they'll stay under 300 million, of course.
I do not think so.
There was a report before we said there was that report that came out that said they expected the Yankees to get to 330 to 340 million, which would be insane. That would be the most expensive team they've had by a long shot
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, one quick question. How much money do they have coming off after this year? Like, are there big contracts ending?
Not really. Like, DJ will end. So that'll finally be gone. But he wasn't making that much. It's like 15 million or something, right? I don't even know if it was
so that. 19, let's see.
Who else is
22 for Trent comes off.
Yeah.
3 for Tim Hill, 2.5 for Ryan Yarbrough. So that's 27.5.
Bednar's
an additional 19 from Bednar and Jazz. So now you're at 46. 15 from DJ. So that's 61.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than you think.
Yeah. So
God, you got to think about a Jazz Chisholm extension and all this, or retaining him too. Like
you should.
That's a thing.
But it wouldn't affect his salary this year.
No, but I'm just saying, as you're projecting future salary, like say you sign Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger, whatever it is, like you're going to be adding this Jazz deal, unless you don't, but I would rather have Jazz Chisholm on a long-term deal than Cody Bellinger on a long-term deal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. To wrap up this episode, I want everyone's game of the year from the 2025 season, and that will be the last time it is spoken of, except it obviously isn't, but that's what I'm saying. Whipple?
I can take the easiest one if no one takes it.
We might all take the same one.
You go, Steve. You go.
I'm taking Cam, man. Cam Schlittler. How do you not take that? That's one of my favorite games in a while.
Yeah.
I had so much fun watching that game. It was unbelievable.
Okay, but is it like I agree given the stakes, but I always go like the best game, like what went on in the game, and that was kind of a boring game. I'll say it.
I wasn't bored. I was watching Cam just demolish people. Ryan McMahon makes that catch. Like, man, that was a great game.
But that's the stakes, right? It's like Yankees, Red Sox, winner take all.
We didn't define it. I think the stakes make it a better game.
No, I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know.
I think the best game of the year was, well, there's actually a bunch of good ones. My personal favorite was when they came back from down 5-0 against the Mariners.
Mariners, that was a
And
really
Oh,
good
that was a
game.
good one.
Yeah, that was a really
I also
good
think
game.
that like one against the Rays where they just kept going back and forth in extra innings, and then McMahon
Dominguez
had a walk-off
made
was
that
good.
catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Braves, that comeback against the Braves, kind of those back and forth. I love a good back and forth.
Dominguez
but that
walk off
Mariners
against
one was
Texas
awesome.
was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the Grisham grand slam against the Braves, the Dominguez walk-off against Texas.
The Bellinger grand slam against the Mets.
Yep.
That was a good game.
I would submit for consideration the back-to-back comebacks against the Padres, the Escara sac fly, and then the one where they were down 3-2 and they scored 10 runs in an inning.
Was that the Padres game?
Yeah.
Where Trent tied it in like the 7th, and then somehow we won by like 8. Yeah,
Yes.
that was awesome. You
The
look back at that
third-
score and you think it's a rout.
Also,
Yeah.
The third game of the year
ALDS,
against,
I think.
game 3 of the ALDS for sure. The second game of the year against Milwaukee, against Nestor.
Yes.
Um,
one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Never will I see that again.
That was a ton of fun. They did a similar thing to Baltimore where they, while we were recording one night.
Oh, that's right. We were recording for
runs.
that. Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
Wasn't
on 3 pitches though.
That was not on 3 pitches. That's true.
It's psychotic that happened. Why didn't Nestor just throw a ball? Why did he throw him another cutter? I don't get it.
The Trent grand slam game against Houston was really good.
Oppo grand slam off Valdez, right?
Off of Valdez.
Lefty.
And then the next, or the third game of that series, the final game of that series, that the Yankees ended up winning 8-4, was also a really good game. I thought, at least. Anyway, yeah.
Their postseason clincher game. That's the last one I'll submit. That was my favorite game I went to this year.
Okay.
Caballero bloop walk off.
Why didn't Michael Harris dive for that ball?
Michael Taylor.
Michael Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really
that was
he's a really good defender too.
When he let that drop, I was just so confused.
He retired like a week later. So
yeah, maybe that was him being like, you know what, I'm done with this.
Yeah, 7 days to retirement.
Yeah.
It was like funny because being there, like you had no perception that he pulled up. Like it was just like, oh, he didn't get it, and then you watch the replay, like, oh, he really should.
I think the angle makes it look. I really wanted to see like a side angle because like straight on, it looks like it's right there, but I don't know if it is as close as it looks.
Seeing the side angle live, I actually didn't think like it didn't flag for me. So.
It wasn't like a super. If I remember correctly, it wasn't a super high catch probability ball. No. But it was one where like you are going to lose the game unless you attack this.
Yep.
Which was just a little bit unusual. But you know what? Thank you, Michael Taylor.
Is there an alternate world where he did dive for that ball and he was nowhere close, and people are saying, "Why did he even dive for that? He was nowhere near that ball."
There was no chance that he was getting.
I think a good throw actually had a chance, right? Didn't he like spike the throw? It was like a terrible throw.
I thought he made a pretty good throw.
I thought it was a horrible throw.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a game that sent the Yankees to the postseason in a series they did not win. So. Yeah. Maybe next year. Maybe they'll win next year with Kyle Tucker.
They might. They definitely might. And that's the thing. Like, so I got a text from my dad right before this episode started that said, I don't care if the Yankees replace Anthony Volpe with Bob Seger, but the mofo has got to go. I've noticed with people of my father's generation, but also people on Twitter, there's always one thing, right? And I think that's part of like sports media. There's always one thing that you're missing. If the 2010 Yankees just had Cliff Lee, who got smacked around in the World Series, they would have won the World Series. If this team just had this guy, if the 2019 Yankees had just gotten another pitcher, like everyone wants to say there's one thing that you need to do differently. Pitchers hate this. The one thing that batters, like, it's never one thing. You either build a championship caliber team or you don't. you might have a different definition of championship caliber. Is that a 10% chance to win the World Series going into the year? Is it 15? Is it 20?
There's the one thing is a fallacy. It's a because you'll always
really
have another thing. There's
exactly.
never at the end of the season.
Though. It
wasn't though.
You never know.
They didn't touch. Who was it? Colby Lewis, who they couldn't touch in the ALCS still, and then Cliff Lee got absolutely shelled in the World Series. So like, what do you? Anyway,
I don't know. But the whole this one piece thing is like, well, maybe they got the piece that you would have said was the one more thing, but now you've made up another one more thing. Like when does it end? When does it end until you have everybody that's top 20 on the WAR leaderboards just populating your team? I mean, like there has to be an ending point.
Yeah. And I would remind people again that Miguel Rojas, who is terrible at baseball, got the biggest hit of the 2025 Major League Baseball season.
Terrible at hitting baseballs anyway.
Terrible at hitting baseballs. Yeah. And Enrique Hernandez, who is also terrible at hitting baseballs.
Playoff performer, man. Playoff riser.
Exactly. The Yankees should just have
happens.
Miguel Rojas, Kike Hernandez, Eddie Rosario.
Just
Steve
change out
Pearce.
Rosters once we get to the playoffs. Just boot everybody out, then bring in the ringers who have good postseason numbers. That's how you do it.
You know, Kike's a free agent.
He might stay that way for a little while.
Probably should.
The Dodgers will probably bring him back again.
Yeah. He actually, it's funny.
He's okay.
He only had an 80 WRC plus this postseason, so maybe that's even dead.
Yeah,
which would be fine.
No, it never is. It never is. It's like there was so much awkwardness around Giancarlo Stanton this offseason or this playoff run. It was very weird for people to talk about him because it disproved their notion that there's stand-up playoff performers.
Yep, playoff Stanton.
He was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he hit a home run the whole time? Actually, in retrospect, he didn't win. Yeah.
So Giancarlo Stanton, elite playoff performer, plays terrible in the playoffs. How do we react to it? Trent Grisham has one bad postseason, and now everyone's anyway.
Tatis was terrible, like all time. He was so good in the playoffs. Everybody talks about it. He couldn't hit anything this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Yankees Files podcast. Parting shots. Whipple, you first.
All right. So have I told you about the wedding details yet, Will? Have I told you? Because this does relate to baseball.
You told me when there were kind of like rumblings, but I don't know what has been set in stone, if anything.
Well, I'll bring this back around. We're going to tie a bow, make this clean. The wedding contract has been signed. The date has been set. In June 2027 in a lovely little town called Cooperstown, New York.
Wow. I love it. So
calendars got to be marked and takes got to be ready because,
takes will be ready.
Hall of Fame. Obviously the discussion is going to be about the Hall of Fame and not the wedding.
We better get the Baseball Hall of Fame to remove David Ortiz for a day.
The wedding present, of course.
Exactly.
So I'm sure I will keep everyone updated with that. But
that's very exciting. Baseball. So probably more baseball and less Taylor Swift as compared to my wedding.
Probably, but we need a little of both. So
yeah. Steve, parting shots from you.
Don't sign Cody Bellinger, please. But if they do, I'll be very excited to talk about Cody Bellinger's post 420 stats again in the 2026 season. And I will enjoy every moment of it while lamenting the day that he's 35 years old and is swinging with 69-mile-an-hour swings.
Steve, can you believe that Cody Bellinger was going to be the 20th player to hit 4 home runs in a game if he didn't get robbed?
Robbed.
Why?
It would have been his 30th home run and 100th RBI of the season too. It's the funniest damn thing. He would have had everything. His whole
by Kyle Tucker. Like it was by Kyle Tucker.
It was. I thought it was PCA that robbed that. No, that's the one he didn't rob. PCA almost robbed the third one, and he didn't quite get it because the fan took it. Yeah. I loved Cody Bellinger, man. I don't want to hate Cody Bellinger. Don't make me hate Cody Bellinger, Yankees. Just let him go. I wish I still loved DJ. I would love DJ if we hadn't re-signed him.
One of my friends keeps running into guys who aren't going to be on the Yankees next year. Like he ran into Ian Hamilton on the subway, and then he ran into DJ LeMahieu at a restaurant.
I wouldn't want to run into Ian Hamilton anywhere, man.
I wouldn't either.
Kill you. Yeah.
If the Yankees don't sign Gary Sanchez, I would accept Mitch Garver. I just like Mitch Garver. He's not good anymore.
I don't think he can field anymore. Yeah.
He can't hit anymore either. I just like him.
Oh, I thought he still kind of hits. No, I guess not.
Not anymore. That's going to do it for this episode of the Yankees Files podcast, the first episode of our 6th season. Whipple, can you believe it's been 6 seasons, or that we're in our 6th season?
It's crazy. I'm glad for the correction, though, because I was going to correct you.
Yeah, it hasn't been 6 seasons. It's been 5 seasons.
Hopefully this is another fun one.
I think it will be. We've only had 2 unfun seasons.
One like really not fun season. One that was just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, I guess we had 2. I was going to say it was like an every other year thing, but no, 25 and 24 are good.
Yeah.
It was really just 21, 23. 23 is the real like.
23 was rough.
21 was just annoying as hell.
Yeah, it was. They lost every Sunday. They lost. So we were always. Anyway.
Yeah.
People can follow, or people can keep up with everything we do at yankeesfiles.com. They can follow us on Twitter, where we are at Yankees Files. The podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, with the added bonus of video. If you are a Spotify listener, as we said, this would be a particularly good episode to watch as opposed to just listen to. Full video podcast also goes up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@crosstownsports. We will be back sometime as signings and free agency really heat up. Until then, thank you all for listening, and let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees.
And I say, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I say, hey, hit ball over